Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Takes it at the 7.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First play, Watson to the air. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And this one is incomplete.
What a matchup we have here in the AFC North on this All Hallows Eve, otherwise known, of course, as Halloween. Kids probably shuffling home right now from trick-or-treating, all hopped up on sugar and ready to drive their parents crazy as these two old rivals get together here on this final day of October in a game that's been highly anticipated.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
So this game of our, Charles, you know, the talk of the NFL world all week. 2 unbeaten teams. You rarely see such a matchup this deep into a season.
I would agree with that because normally you might get one team undefeated for a while, but 2 teams like this, and I remember in preseason you looked at schedules and said, I think these 2 are on a collision course. It'd be interesting to see if they actually get there, and they did. And to me, the winner of this game has to wear the crown of Super Bowl favorite.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Watson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be blown dead right around the 25-yard line.
First carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
They'll roll him out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
In trouble, and he's taken down.
Azeez Ojulari
able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Caleb Farley.
And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Harris running straight ahead. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
On play action, Fields. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Here we go on 4th down. Fields. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After the interception, here's Watson. Open man is Kendrick Bourne.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Now last year's leading rusher in the NFL, this is Jonathan Taylor.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Throwing over, and it's Taylor on the out route that completes it. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
A run for the first time with Myles Gaskin.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. We're scoreless after 1. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
From the 50, here's Fields.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
From the gun, here's Fields. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here's Fields. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at the Browns' 28. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
They snap it to Fields. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. He's got the 1st down and more than that.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Kyle Pitts
with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Sitting in 1st place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Watson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. On fourth down, Watson. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Off play action, Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Here's Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. On 4th down, Fields. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a counter too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Watson on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Here we go on fourth. Watson. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. To throw is Watson. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Fields now to throw.
He's got a man, complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. In motion comes the tight end left.
On first down, it's Fields. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And this is caught. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Now a first down throw, Fields.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
Kyle Pitts,
a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And that makes the score 14-7. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you got to the top performers you have and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
On the out route, he finds Hardman.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going deep for Brown.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Watson off play action.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
On 1st down, Fields. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And he's got it inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On 2nd and goal, Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Fields. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! Tommy Trimble from 13 yards out, and the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And it's now 21-7. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. He's going deep for Brown. It got his man complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need them.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. A play fake. Now Fields to throw.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Play action. It's Fields.
Sliding out of the pocket. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body.
Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
After the interception, here's Watson. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
From the gun, here's Watson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there hustling in quickly to make the play.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything, and here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, 21.6 miles per hour.
Taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now Watson on third and goal. Touchdown, Browns. Mo Cox from 4 yards out. And the Browns have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, who picked off the last one? What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
On second down, this is Harris. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here we go on 4th down, Fields. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Out of the gun, Fields. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Browns are right back in this football game. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson, the Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that will be incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. On the give, this is Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and 11 now. Fields. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Kyle Pitts, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And the lead now up to 14. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and it was fair to look back and say the 4th down was a moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they went for it. But, hey, a lot of credit to the guys on the defensive side of the ball. They knew they'd have to defend in that situation, and they got it done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Watson now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. From the gun on 3rd, Watson.
This will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. And a 2-score game, obviously every play, every 3rd down like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. It's caught inside the 25.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
From the red zone now, Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Mecole Hardman, an 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns have got it back to within a score. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Fields looking deep downfield.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
He's going to take another shot here. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 83 yards.
And the Bengals are poised to move to 8-0 as they extend their lead even further. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And the lead now up to 14.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are...
He's got a man, complete.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Here's Watson.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Open man downfield is Hardman. He's got it.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Now Watson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense is...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Bengals are going to get the football back at their own 17. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well, cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field, but sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Cincinnati,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll take this loss into the bye.